We have our invocation. At this time, we're gonna ask, Mr. Cooper to give us our invocation, please.
Father God, we thank you for this day and you bless all your blessings in it. Father God, we thank you for watching us safely here, and on top of that, just watching after the city of Aliceville. Dear Heavenly Father, we also ask that this meeting be conducted in your will and all the blessings that come before it. We give you all the praise and all the honor. In your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Council members, you had an opportunity to review your meeting minutes. Are there any questions about the minutes as presented to you today? Not, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Also move, approve. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known. Is there any discussion? All right. Now we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Item number one, under unfinished business, we have the renovation of the city hall and kitchen and bathroom. We should have some updates soon. The bids are being brought forth by the construction company to give us some numbers. And it's gonna cost a little less for some things, but we're gonna change up the arrangement. So that should help us save some more of that grant money. Are there any questions about that? All right. Item number two, the trailer parks. Item number two, the trailer parks. The attorney Russell, I spoke with him earlier, and the plan is to set up a meeting with the owner of the trailer park, so that way we can let him know what our expectations are. They've done some work, it starts, but that's our next steps, to meet with him and then relay our expectations. So I'm gonna get Attorney Russell's gonna draft us a letter for that, but I want him to be present so that way we can have it. So as soon as the meeting is had, not sure when the date is gonna be set for that, but that's where we are with the trailer parks. Anybody got any questions about that? And that's Country Lane as well as West Side. All right. Item number two, bids to clean out the ditches on the southwest side of the city. We were going to put this information out inside the newspaper, but upon further information, we found that the people who were bidding wanted to know how far on the easement they could go with their equipment. So we were reaching out to the state to find out how far we have on each side of the ditch. So that way we're able to maneuver, or they're able to maneuver their equipment. So that being said, we're not gonna open those bids tonight. We are going to extend the bidding to no earlier than February the 9th, but more than likely it'll be the last council meeting in February that we open those bids. So that way everybody knows what they're bidding on. Has anybody got any questions about that? No questions? Surplus property. The surplus property, we're in the process of taking pictures of the surplus property that was surplus last meeting. Some of it has already been disposed, the things that were administrative. The other items we're going to we're gonna let an auction company bid those items off. So that way we have a larger pool, a nationwide pool of people. So we have to get pictures of those equipment items. So hopefully by the end of the week or the end of next week, we'll have all the pictures we need. There is one item that we're waiting on doing a lost title form. Once we get that completed, then we'll be able to put that item on as well. I think that's the first truck right there.
Yes.
Mr. Jones. All right. So are there any questions about surplus property and how to bid? Once that bid information is out, we'll share that too. But, right now it's looking like Southeast Auto Auction is gonna be the one who's gonna do it. They're out of Tuscaloosa. That's what we said, I think previously, that we're gonna do all our bid.
Question.
Yes, sir.
So it's not gonna be a sealed bid, it'll be a public auction.
Correct.
So forget about sealed bid. Don't go by trying to no bid in, but say.
Don't worry about sending no bid in out of the city hall.
That we had said.
Send them, we gonna send, we gonna send them all to the auction place. The auction gonna deal with whatever it is. Good answer, so.
Let me just. I would think it's gonna be, like, we only BS here, so we won't do that here.
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It'll be just like when you online, like eBay,
You're right.
and then people can, do that type deal, so that way we get, if we do it, if we open it here, you reach, and not, opening it here is not a problem, but if you only list it in Adamsville,
Right.
then we only gonna get folks in Adamsville that bid on. But if we list it on a nationwide site, then maybe we might have somebody in New York that want what we got. So that's the reason why, and they just bid it, that day it'll be a bam, bam, and we'll get it. Yes, sir. Any questions? Hmm? No, we'll have a date, we gotta get the pictures, to the auction, right. We gotta get the pictures to them, so that way they can have it to list on their site. But some of the pieces, they're gonna have to come here to get, because they don't rent. Nobody else? All right. That being said, anybody else got any questions on that? All right. If not, we'll move on to item number 1 on new business. And pull this up. Item number 1 on new business is the street paving bids. One of the things that we've been trying to work on since we got started was trying to get a resurfacing project for the city of Adamsville. Resurfacing the entire street, resurfacing the entire city streets that's within the city limits. We did that bid. That bid was up on Wednesday of last week, and we opened those bids on January the 19th, 2022 at 3 p.m. Upon opening those bids, we had two people that bidded. The bids were opened at the above mentioned City Hall, which is Adamsville City Hall, on January 19th, 2022 at 3 p.m. Two bids were received from ST Bund Construction Company Incorporated and from Central Alabama Asphalt Construction Company, LLC. ST Bund had the lowest bid with the amount of $3,155,974.34. Porter Higginbotham, the industry engineer who reviewed the bid and recommended accepting the low bid of ST Bond Company. In addition, they included the tabulation. So that being said, the paving for the city is gonna cost us $3.1 billion and some change. And so what I'm asking that the council do is accept the bid from ST Bond and that amount, so we can move forward with the paving process.
I'll make the motion. I have a question first. That's sort of a little lower than we have. On this team on bids when it first started out.
It's about average on right around what we were saying.
Started.
Yes, sir.
Pricing didn't change.
Yes, sir.
So we can nail it down. Now we good for when we went on price increase.
Correct. Yes, sir. Correct. Yes.
When you start paving street, springtime?
We hadn't decided on what the time frame is. The engineers don't know what the best time frame for that. We'd like to get it done as soon as possible, and they They do have, the engineer has a specific tabulation for days that can be utilized. There's certain temperatures that the street has to be. Of course, there can't be any rain. So those are the things that are gonna really stipulate the paving process. Of course, now we probably can do it because the weather is not permitting. But when that time frame comes up, that's when they'll do it. I'll leave it up to the engineers, and they'll be the one that's overseeing the project.
The engineers made this, you guys that came, that you didn't know this.
No, Porter Higginbotham is the engineering firm. Those are, that's something, yeah, right, that's something else. Any other questions? All right. Entertain a motion. Oh, we already have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
There's been motion and second to approve the paving of the streets of Aliceville. Are there any more discussion? If not, we're moving to a vote. All those in favor of paving the streets of Aliceville resurfacing plan of $3.1 million from ST Bond Company with the lowest bid, please, let me read the bid out. $3,155,947.34. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All those opposed, the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. And the motion carries. Thank you, council. I think that deserves a round of applause because we've been trying to do this. All right, good job. Item number 2, certified police officer incentive. Of course, as you know, there is an officer shortage nationwide, not just in the city of Aliceville. One of the things that we have already done is incentivize individuals that want to apply to the city of Aliceville with the ongoing $1,500 sign-on bonus. We have saw some interest, but most individuals who are certified, that's not a lot to get them to either leave where they are or come back into the field. So one of the things that we discussed and kicked around was increasing our incentive bonus. And so I like to make a recommendation that we have a incentive of $4,500 for certified police officers. There will be requirements. They will have to stay 1 year, and they will be required to stay full-time or be a full-time officer, not part-time. Those are the 2 requirements that, 2 stipulations that we have, and of course, they'll sign a contract stating such, and if they forego that, they'll have to pay it back. But I think that this may increase some interest among other law enforcement officers so we can enhance our police force. I'll entertain some discussion at this time. Any discussion from the
Yeah, discussion. With that $4,500, which I understand and is needed, but, that $4,500 goes when you sign, could it go, I'm asking for,
Okay.
Could it go, you stay 6 months, then get 50%, then when you stay your year, then you get the others? That way, when everybody them leaving up tomorrow and taking the money with, this discussion. I'm asking for.
Okay, that's a good question. I mean, that's a good idea. I don't have an issue with breaking it down. I think that you might dilute the people who you may get based on that. And most people, if you're a law enforcement officer and certified, I would hope that you have enough integrity to stay for the time frame or pay it back. Now, this does not forego the screening process. The screening process is still there. So even if we get 50 people that apply to be officer, if none of those 50 people meet the muster of what our requirement is, then, it is what it is. But we can break it down possibly on that or something similar to give them an incentive to come on. But I'm not against it, but I would rather see them have it all so that way it would justify them leaving wherever they are to come to our agency. But that's a good. That's good. That's all right.
I go,
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm the same way. I think they should go ahead and give it to them, but, Also, I think we should put in the clause just in case, something happened before they year out, like, terminated them, and we should have a clause in there, let them know everything before, they sign, get fired.
So,
But yeah, I think I'm down, I agree with you that whatever I own up front, I think they interim them come on in, start up. That's all.
So, the $4,500.
Mhm.
So, last time it was the $1,500, for the get them in here, but they didn't stay long. So, I don't think the $4,500 gonna get them in and make them stay for a long time. I see 1,500 didn't get them in here to stay. They stayed for a little while. So now you're boosting it up to 45. I think it's,
well,
they gonna get them to come anyway.
okay, I got you. We've only had one officer to receive the bonus, and that officer is in training now. So other than that, nobody else is, I don't believe,
The trainees didn't get it yet.
they gotta wait until after training and what.
Yeah.
So we haven't issued the 1,500 to anybody at this time except for,
The
Mr.
certified officer.
Wesley, Officer Wesley. And he's still, so,
So, part-time guy get the whole amount too?
absolutely not. Only full-time.
And I've seen the 4,500 would also be, after the training.
No, these people will already be
Okay,
certified.
okay.
That's the reason why we increased it, because these people will already be certified. So if you're not certified, you qualify for the 1,500.
I gotcha. It's just separate.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I do definitely, like what Thomas and Cookie had said, it needs to be in the contract that if they don't fulfill the year, that owe the money back.
Correct.
Well, I know you get your own opinion, but why every time they want to come, they don't stay long?
I'm not, which,
I'm saying, when the officer come here and work,
Mhm.
they don't stay long.
I'm not sure in what specific officer you talking about.
Well, I've been with the one who's gone now. Like, I ain't been seeing tribute around.
Okay, tribute is no longer with
Don't
Officer
call,
Jackson.
don't call her name.
Well, she stayed long.
I can't call her name.
And you can't, and we can't call names, but it's an open council meeting, so no names being called, please. And also, all those officers, nobody has received the bonus, except, one officer, and that officer is still employed with us. So,
Well, officers now are just like Matt,
yeah.
officers now are just like employees. The higher bidder gonna get, we put it 20,000, if I go 21,000, one get. This is on any employees call, people are bidding on workers now. When you shoot them off, or cutting grass, or picking up stick, the higher bidder to pick up stick, I get paid more. So for staying, in my opinion, that it ain't except for anybody. So most places I know holiday and all your dollar tomorrow, you're gonna be gone. And it's the same with the police department, experience or no experience. It's tough now, cause everybody's big for work. I hear that's on television now. They give so much money on television. They give you a house in Tuscaloosa, Norfolk. They give you a house, and the same way they get a house today, the next town give them 2 houses, and they move. So that's something you can't do anything about. You can't do anything about people leaving and moving. Cause everybody that comes in a job, including anywhere, gonna say they're gonna stay. Oh, I'm here for a long haul, and they're lying. Cause the first best offer they can get, they got rules here, they're gonna be gone.
I got one thing. Most likely, if another department come here and then have been there by the contract, I think we had that couple, in the past one. They're by the contract, and so that's a question. If somebody do want them, they're by the contract.
Great points. And then just as a point of note, we always, any officer that comes in and we send them to school or any type of training, especially with them initially coming in, they have to sign a contract with us. And if they don't, then there are some requirements that they have to fulfill. If they don't meet the meet the obligation, so, it'll just take tweaking this current contract that we got, and making it fit what we're trying to do today. So, but those are, everybody has some great points. Is there any other discussion? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
Second.
It's been moved and second to offer an incentive for certified police officers, requiring them to stay 1 year full-time at the city of Alexville, and a payback required if they're terminated or leave any other cause. Is there any other discussion? If not, we'll move on to a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
No,
All those opposed, let it be known by saying nay.
like,
As in the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Item number 3, incentive, employee incentive. There are some probationary as well as seasoned employees who are due step increases based on the quality of the work or based on their time and service at the city of Aliceville. What I'm asking is that we approve those employees incentives, as previously discussed.
I so move, approve the employee incentive that we discussed. Oh,
second,
It's been moved and second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying, is there any other discussion? Well, limited. We're just talking about character, certain.
Give them this for us, for council.
I can give it to you in the executive, but I can give it to you next time. I'll give it to you after this.
And because you said that some people are getting paid or raises because of time and it raises because of their service.
Go ahead.
So that'd be good to know, who and what.
Okay, any more discussion?
So the one operating the heavy equipment too.
At this time, I'm not gonna go into any detail because we're talking about the character and the good name of individuals. If you all want to go into executive session, we can go into executive session, but I'm not gonna openly discuss it in the public about individuals' salaries. So it's, choice you got. All right,
yes, sir.
so
Yes, or whatever we need to see.
okay, I think executive requires.
All you all to vote to go into it. Do you all want to finish this
Let's
the
finish
rest
the
of the,
meeting
and then go into
right.
executive, then we reconvene?
Let's do that. We're not skip it. We're gonna go into, hold that one item and then go into item number 4. We'll come back to it. Item number 4 is industrial board appointments. There are 2 people who are cycled off. One of them is Mr. Donnie Sanders. He currently serves as the chairman of the industrial board, rather, and doing a fantastic job, working very hard on a number of projects actively. And so I think that he's deserving of another shot. He wants to serve again. And the second individual who's coming off is Mr. Russell, who's our city attorney. And he's also been working on a number of projects that we are trying to consider, not consider, but trying to work on as well as current legal business that is taken care of. So that being said, I would entertain the motion to approve them to serve an additional term. Their terms are a total of 4 years, and then they cycle back off, or it can be reappointed by somebody else.
I so move.
Second.
Been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
we can vote them together.
Yeah, we're gonna vote for them together.
Okay.
Yes. If there's any discussion? All right, if not, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? Depending chair, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Now we on accounts payable. Accounts payable is, bills that you guys already have. You had an opportunity to review those bills in your packets. I entertain a motion to pay the bills as approved, as presented.
So move, pay the bills.
Been moved to pay the bills. Can I get a second?
Second,
It's been moved and second to pay the bills as presented. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? Being the chair, the ayes have it. Motion carries. We got Mr. Jones is gonna give us the police report as well as the fire report. But before we get started on that, I'd like to make sure that everybody knows our illustrious chief, his house had some fire damage. And so he's not here tonight, but we'd like to remind him that he is in our thoughts and our prayers today. And we thank him for his service. And we also want to thank the Alpha Volunteer Fire Department for being there as quickly as they did to save the house and not allow it to be a complete structural loss. So with that being said, I'm gonna open up the floor to our fire chief, Mr. Jones.
All right, I'm stepping in, Chief, as the mayor said, Aliceville Police Report for the month of January 2022. There were approximately 15 cases. 4 of those cases led to an arrest. We had 2 domestic violations, 3 harassment, 2 assault, 1 possession of marijuana, 1 criminal mischief, 1 public intoxication. We're also investigating a child abuse case that is still pending at this moment.
Thank you, sir. You go ahead with your
Well, y'all have a copy of the fire report. We had 4 structural fires. We had 1 accident. We had 10 medical calls where they were pinned in between ambulance and airback or PHI where they were airlifted out of town. And we also had like 2 emergency calls, or we call them kind of like fire alarms that were faulty alarms that were set off or whatnot. So it's like a total of 17 calls. I also want to recognize my fire department as a whole. I appreciate everything that they do that serve that community. I also want to recognize 2 guys for their dedication and their, they go once I call them. I like to recognize Captain AJ Cooper for his dedication on the month of January for answering numerous calls. These guys call me when something go on. They're like, "Hey, we're on our way," and I'm like, "Go ahead, man. I'm coming. I'll be there." So I'd like to recognize Mr. AJ Cooper. Thank you, sir. Secondly, I'd like to recognize Mr. Rock, Mr. Marquise Bonner. He's hard at it too. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for standing in, and we also like to thank Mr. Cooper and Mr. I call him Rock, but we played football together. That was what we called him. But we appreciate you, Mr. Bonner, as well for your service. We thank the volunteer fire department as a whole for what they do, as well as our police department. So thank you and thank you. Yes.
Also, y'all have a copy of the report. On the bottom of that is every truck or every vehicle that I have, and it shows you which truck is in service and which truck is not. The brush truck is the one that's out of service right now. We're still working on that. So you do have a list of every vehicle that we have.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your report. Street department.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
no,
We're gonna let it be known, we're getting ready to put up speed breakers on Fifth Street. We're gonna put up 2 on Fifth. I also want you to know that we've opened up on Third, where we have a stop sign that's visible now. It's open, so if you get a chance, go down and take a look. We got, only lane and everything, do not enter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate the work that you guys are doing, the street department. Chamber of Commerce report. Don't have anything at this time.
The chamber banquet will be held March 1st, on Tuesday. So all are welcome. We'll get information about tickets and all that at a later time, but March 1st.
And what's the location on it?
The library, the museum.
Museum.
Yes, sorry.
No, you did. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that report. Now we'll move on to museum. Do you have anything, yes, sir?
Just an update on the reenactment. I learned yesterday that a videographer has volunteered, a professional videographer, I should say, has volunteered to come and film the various activities associated with reenactment. And one point was made to try to encourage everybody participating, even people who are spectators, to dress in 1940s period clothing, so that when he's filming various activities, people in the background will look like they fit the time period that the reenactors are trying to create.
Sounds good, sounds good. Hey,
And he's gonna be doing that free of charge, and there'll be like a documentary film produced about it.
Think it's getting better and better, man. You're doing pretty good. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Hey, when is that?
It's gonna be May 13th, 14th, and 15th, with the 14th, which is a Saturday, being the main event, but there'll be activities all 3 days.
Great job, great job. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you giving us that good information, and free is always good. So I like that. That's pretty good. Council members, I'll start from my right. Mr. Wilkins, council member, do you have anything, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna say is, there's a lot of jobs out there nowadays. People, like you said, people need people. And I seen this one young man, I ain't calling about the name. He been to jail before for selling drugs. Well, I got 2 guys, and I see them now. They work. They dirty. I appreciate you, man. I've been knowing that they've been working about a year now. Man, I'm good. You work. So, and that's what I'm saying. So that's it.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman?
Reminder about the library estate sale. It will be at Dr. Robbins' old office, next to Brett's Chiropractic Place. And it will be the 4th and the 5th, the 4th being open to library members. So good time to join the library and get a first look at the estate sale. And it's packed, like they're running out of room for donations. But if you would like to make donations, obviously they're still received. So, and thank you to the fire department for last night. You guys were hustling, and it was, I get chills just thinking about it, because I rode by right when it was happening, and I've never seen grown men and women run like y'all were. So thank y'all for everything you do.
Councilman, sir? Man, Councilwoman? All right, do we have anybody from the public? Okay, yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Bill.
And if this is dealing with personnel or dealing with good name and character of someone, I'm not going to address
Well,
it.
when are you gonna address me?
Now we're gonna move into a vote, for executive session to talk about item number 3. I need a motion. Somebody got a motion.
So move. Who's talking about that?
All right. The employees.
Oh,
I'll make a motion.
Been moved and seconded to go into executive session for approximately 20 minutes. Is there any discussion? All right, now we move to a vote. All those in favor of executive session, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the chair, the ayes have it. Executive session. Thank you all for coming. We're gonna stay in here, guys.